Welcome. Today I'll be summarizing and sharing my thoughts on the October 1st readings of Courage to Change and A Little Time for Myself. We'll begin with the Serenity Prayer and 3 mindful breaths. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. First, I'll read A Little Time for Myself. Summarize that. I'm going to read it to myself. Rabbit, rabbit, by the way. Wishing you a safe, happy, healthy October ahead. Okay, I'm going to read now. This page is about surrendering my will to my higher power. The question of the day is, how do I practice trusting my higher power today? It says that surrender your will and you'll gain the power of insight, serenity, and perspective. That's lovely. So how do I practice trusting my higher power today? For me, I read my conference-approved literature. I journal. I meditate. I pray. I attend my home meeting once a week. And throughout the day, I try to remain still enough, spacious enough to, when I say spacious, I mean not have a ton of thoughts going through my head. If I find that that's happening, I try to, once I become aware of it, I try to ask for help and slow down. I try to breathe very mindfully and slow down. Take nice, slow, deep breaths. And try to hear what my higher power is guiding me to do based on the thoughts that I have when I'm in a more calm state, based on being aware of my surroundings. When things are bothering me or taking up a lot of space in my head, I try to remember to ask for help. It sounds so simple, but sometimes I forget that I can just ask for help. I can do it silently. I can do it on my knees. I can pray out loud. All I have to do is say, please help me. That's it. Please help me. Sometimes I don't even have to articulate what I need help with because I feel like my higher power already knows. And so by doing those things, I feel like that's how I'm practicing trusting my higher power. And ultimately fretting less, worrying less about things that I realize are out of my control. How do you practice trusting your higher power today? Love this book. Love this book. I'll move on to the other book that I love. October 1st. Ooh. It has a tab on it, so it means that this has been an important page to me in the past. All right, I'm going to read it now silently. I can see why I've loved this page for a long time. To me, this page is about fellowship, trust, communication. It's about managing racing thoughts, managing fear, managing how does Al-Anon guide me when I feel overwhelmed? When things become unmanageable. It says we can make a phone call to someone in the fellowship or someone outside the fellowship that is a trusted friend. Putting space between my problems and myself. Sharing with another person, a trusted person, diminishes the power of anything that I say. Once I say it out loud, it's so funny because it depends on the situation for me. Sometimes once I say it out loud, it's like, oh, now it's real. Now I have to deal with it because it's out in the universe. And then other times, something is so big inside of me. And once I share it with someone else and their reaction is, okay, so we'll deal with it. And in my head, it was life altering. It was life or death. It was something just so gigantic. And when I share it with someone else and they are unfazed, they've experienced it before, it's not a big deal. It's such a huge relief. But as it says, the first step is recognizing that in that moment, things are unmanageable and I need help. The freedom of bringing things out into the open. And depending on the different phases of my life, there have been different people who I have felt comfortable sharing details with that are really, really important to me. And before Al-Anon, I'm very fortunate. I've always had people that I could talk with, honestly. Coming into Al-Anon, though, was just a whole new level of acceptance, communication, no judgment. It's a level of being that I did not experience before Al-Anon. And it's one of the many, many things that keeps me involved with Al-Anon still, even though my life is no longer in crisis. I'm so, so very grateful for that. Even though my life is no longer unmanageable with substance abuse issues, life can seem to be unmanageable from a variety of things that have nothing to do with substance abuse. And following the suggestions and the guidelines in Al-Anon is, in my mind, I'm thinking it's a treasure. It's the most valuable thing in the world. I know that just sounds like hyperbole. It's just extremely valuable, and I can't think of the right words, but I'm sure I'm conveying the importance in my life. This is a great, great page. So we'll close out with the Serenity Prayer and 3 mindful breaths. Here we go. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. Thank you so much for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Sending you love. Take care.